I'm Kathleen Snyder of Arcade Antiques and Jewelers in Riverside, Illinois, and this is a very special edition of Backstage Antiques. We have our audience filled this evening with homemade treasures, or treasures that they've brought from home that have been passed on in the family, and things which they have acquired over the years. Joining me this evening is Carol Hutton of Patterns of the Past of LaGrange, Illinois, Colonel Neville Christian, appraiser and auctioneer of Berwyn, Illinois, Edna Barth, appraiser of LaGrange Park, Illinois. Thank you for joining me this evening, and we would like to start our first collection off with treasures brought from Mr. Thaddeus Kolka. Mr. Kolka, do you want to come up and tell us what you have?
Yeah, well, I bought these at a house sale, and I'd like to know the year, how old they are, and the value of them. And another thing is, what I would like to know is, why do they have all different kind of markings on the bottom of the plates? This one says Bavaria in real big letters, and this one is has a different one.
Looks like Limoges. Mm-hmm.
And this one says it's from Limoges, France.
Are these all the pieces that you have, or do you have a complete set?
It's a setting. It's a set for 12 people, but it's few pieces are broken, so it's a should be a complete set for 8.
Oh, that's wonderful. You have cups and saucers and everything.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, this set of china was probably done between 1900 and 1935, in the heyday of hand painting. Each piece is hand painted, and the reason you have the different marks on the bottom, such as Bavaria, Limoges, etc., was the artist would choose what particular blank she would like to present in the set. She perhaps would have liked a cup from Bavaria, but she liked the saucers from Japan or Germany. And there was even a favorite pattern of artists called Favorite Bavaria, and they were the blanks, and the artist would get these and then hand decorate them and fire them. Carol, do you want to add anything to that? Or?
No, I was just going to ask him, were all the plates the same mark? Or was some of the plates marked different marks?
Yeah, some are Limoges, some are from Bavaria, but some are marked different Bavaria than the other one.
It could have been they ran out of blanks and got a
Right,
different...
added to. Service for 12 was quite a few. And they would just, as Kay said, they would have these stores that you would go in and pick out the pieces. They didn't care about the marks on the bottom. They were just looking at the style of the pieces.
Evelyn, do you want to give
Yes,
an evaluation?
Many times there'll be a hand-painted dresser set or a lemonade set, and a lot of times people would go in. Now, I was under the impression, in fact, I had seen a picture in an old catalog years ago where they used to have all these bowls, and then they'd have creamers and sugars, and they'd have all, but they were all different markings. Some were Germany, like she said, Bavarian, Selb, Bavaria, and France, Limoges, France. And I think that the people at that time would just go in and buy either what was on sale. They might take 6 bowls here, they might take 6 plates and then go back later and buy another 3 or 4 plates, but then they all hand painted them. And yours is all hand painted with the 24 karat gold and the initial, which is they either did that or they put the pansies or the forget-me-nots, and they had about 6 or 7 different patterns that was very popular at that time. But that adds, as far as I'm concerned, that adds to the set. That's more important to me, having different blanks, than it would be having them all the same. I think you have a beautiful selection there. Now, I can come up with a price, but we're going to let everybody else decide on a price.
Oh, we are?
Yes. Is there anything you want to add to that?
No, I was just wondering, are they're all initialed with the A on them?
Everything is initial with A.
Do you want to give an evaluation?
I don't
You would
know,
think
I'm
he has
thinking about this.
service for 8, complete with
Service for
with
8.
additional pieces, because he
And
said
the
some are
big turkey
missing.
tray.
Yeah, and the serving pieces.
And you have plates, cups, saucers, and you have small plates, sauce dishes,
Yes,
etc.
Monogram.
Okay, now the appraisal that we give this evening will be roughly the retail value, which is available in the Midwest. location means a lot of things, but we are going to give the retail value, not the wholesale value. Okay, Edna, do you want to start?
Well, that's hard for me to do.
Okay.
I would say $500.
Okay.
I say $350.
Carol.
I tend to agree with Nevlin, probably around $350. Primarily because, for one thing, it's monogrammed, and sets of china are difficult to sell because they're, everyone has their own taste. They will go to the store and pay a lot of money for a
Yeah.
pattern that they hand select, but it seems like if it is one that has been handed down, $350 I feel is a little more realistic actual selling price.
For a service for 8. I would say, I would go toward more with Edna because I think it's lovely regardless of the initial. It is 24 karat gold fired onto it, so I would say about 500 because you have the big serving pieces, and sometimes the serving pieces alone carry
these
it.
platters and covered dishes, I think,
Okay.
bring the price
And white
up.
and gold right now.
Yeah,
is
that's the big deal.
wonderful.
Thank you very much
Yeah,
for
okay,
bringing
thanks.
the...
I have one more little thing.
Okay, whip it out fast.
I'm trying to figure out what it is.
It looks
It's-
like a measuring cup done in Artemis ware or Britannia.
And
It's
does it have
from the
any
New York
marking?
Central and Hudson River
Oh.
Railroad,
Oh,
And
it's
it
from
is
the
Britannia.
railroad.
and I was
Okay.
told that it could be a toothpick holder.
Yeah, it probably is.
Could be a shot.
It's got a
Yeah,
pedestal
yes.
on the bottom, so that wouldn't tip over on the, as a toothpicker, it wouldn't tip over on the thing. I would evaluate that at probably $35 because of the railroad feature of it.
Is it marked with the railroad?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
The name of the railroad?
Yeah.
Anybody?
I would say.
35?
Mm-hmm. I would say so. That.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Norm Skaman has 2 articles that he would like to bring up now also. Norm, do you want to tell us anything about how you acquired this picture? or-
Yes.
Well, I love that story because I was the last fellow at the garage sale on Sunday after the sale had gone on for 3 days. And the fellow knew me and he said, hey, you like old stuff scamming? He says, I got something back here. And he reached back about 3 feet in the shelf and he brought this forward. And it was marked $1. So he says, Norm, he says, you're a nice guy. He says, I'll give it to you for about, I'm doing some advertising. I'm a nice guy. So he sold it to me for 50 cents. And somebody told me this was about 500 years old.
This could very well be. It is on double parchment, it's all hand-painted, and it's done with a very fine, probably one sable,
Yeah,
how they
with
would
a-
do it. Do you want to turn it over, Norm, and show the whole story of the warriors? It's from Persia. It has the watermarks on it. The paper is excellent. I recommended earlier to Norm that he take this over to a store and have it properly mounted so no air gets in it to dissolve the paper. Because I can't read Persian, but I appreciate the beauty of it, I would say that this piece is worth about $150 in the condition that it is.
Fine.
And it is not of the last few centuries, it looks like.
Yeah.
Carol,
Thank you.
do you? Any
Can I show you
comments?
this
We've
one,
all
John?
agreed.
I agree. Yeah, that,
We've all agreed.
We all agree?
We all
Fine.
agree.
We don't get an argument out of me. This is a little Fatima cigarettes. Now, they had 10 of these, and you learned how to dance from these little things. They were put out in 1914. Now, what you do is you take this and you flip, and they dance. You get the
Oh, that's
idea,
very
anyway.
nice. And that was a premium from the cigarette?
That was, yes, from Fatima in 1914, and they taught you how to do the one step, the Argentine tango, the hesitation step, anyway, lots of different dances.
Because of the advertising for Fatima and the fact of the age and everything and the uniqueness of the piece, I would say this is worth around $40.
absolutely, absolutely. The advertising items are just so high.
And it's a small, like a 2x2 paper, but it's cute, Norm.
And who can
Okay.
learn to
Good
dance for
condition.
$40, right?
Yeah, I know.
Good deal.
But it doesn't have the lababa on it, though.
Probably that was in a bunch of junk on it.
You might have.
Helen Borsili has brought a little doll sewing machine. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And this is signed American Girl, and it was manufactured in Belvedere, Illinois.
Yes, and I have the
The original.
instructions that came with it. Metal on wood, no bobbin, it sews with a
Oh,
looper,
isn't that
and it sews perfectly, and it's sentimental value for me.
I had one similar to that in the store. It was a Singer, and it had do you have a little box with it too to cover it?
No, I don't, I just have a cardboard box, but it does have something to clamp it to the table.
To the table. I would value this between $85 and $115. Carol?
Well, I was going to say about $75.
75.
$75.
Yeah, I think that other is a little bit high
Okay.
because.
But she does have the box and everything with it. Okay.
Okay, I have one more item, if I may. This is a Bible, a prayer book of my grandmother's. It's printed in Czechoslovakian. It has a date in there of 1887. It looks like handwork on the metal. I'm not sure of what the outside is, and this too just has sentimental value for me. It's in very good condition.
I think that could be ivory, Helen. I had one similar to that I just donated to the Czechoslovakian Society. I had a ballpark figure of it in all Czech, and there were some holy pictures in there also.
Yes.
And I valued it about $60 with the ivory spleen. Girls?
If that's ivory, yes,
Yeah.
I think that, if it isn't, why, I think that's.
Considerable less.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
but they did a lot of them with the ivory.
Fine, thank you.
Helen. David Gurnick has a bronze statue. Do we have a David Gurnick? It's a spelter, I think. Yeah. David, do you want to tell us anything about it, or?
Well, I picked it up about 15 years ago at a estate auction. And I could never find out anything about it. It says Clio across the front. And it's still got a tag from somewhere in France, in Paris, where it was purchased. I know anything else about it then.
Cleo.
I think this is probably from the turn of the century. It's a French bronze called a spelter. Usually there is a foundry mark or a seal on the back portion of it. It is mounted on a piece of marble. It's a very nice bronze. They call it bronze. I would value this at about $350 to $400. Girls?
Well, I think I would probably agree with you.
I
That's very
agree,
surprising.
that's around 350, that's what I was thinking.
I'll agree with the same, except it seems so lightweight when he picked it up. Usually
But
I thought it
Well,
would
it's
be
a
less.
spelter.
rather
Oh,
than
I
a
see,
bronze.
all
Right.
right. Then it's not solid bronze.
No.
No, no.
What is it called?
Well, then that's,
Spelter, which is a
well,
French
isn't that
pot
high
metal
then?
Okay.
I don't think so, not
with
for
the bronze
that,
flashing.
that size, and the condition of it is
Yeah,
beautiful.
the condition is superb.
Uh-huh.
Don't clean it, just dust it.
Just that's all I've done. I use paintbrush on it.
Just dust it.
Wonderful, it is great.
It'd be interesting to know what the Clio means.
That's what I was wondering. I couldn't find in any books
Well,
what
she
Clio
must be
was.
depicting a bronze oath.
Yeah, probably one of the historical figures
Yeah.
at the time.
She looks like Justice or something, with the wreath and the...
When I first saw her at the show,
the
it
saber.
reminded me of the Statue of Liberty at first.
In the
The way
wreath.
that she
It
was
has the same
dressed.
thi- Yeah, exactly. In the French, yeah,
And you bought her at estate sale?
Yes.
nice. Nice buying.
Thank you.
Henrietta Lagastry has a, Henrietta? She has a beautiful, oh, it's wonderful.
Gorgeous.
RS Prussia lace gold plate, which is in green and white. It is the, looks like the 17th or 18th mark with the wreath of RS Prussia. It's just beautiful with the little bows. I've been monopolizing the conversation, so I'll start with that now.
Oh, well, it's absolutely lovely. and
thank you. I
that's
think so,
one of
too.
my very favorite RS Prussia.
Yes.
Yes, and it is just beautiful. And I noticed it has the little ring on the base, which is
Right.
is the little mark that's left when the kill mark. And, I would say, I'd say $200, and that's probably maybe not even enough, but I would say definitely.
No?
Well, if it's Irish brushing, of course, it's been reproduced, but it is still, to me, the finest thing to have. I love Irish brushing too. I think it's worth just a little bit more than that.
It's wonderful.
I think around 200 would probably be
Oh,
about
it's
right.
just
It's beautiful.
Thank you.
piece.
I think so.
Most
Beautiful.
unusual
Unusual
piece.
with the bows on the
I really-
side.
Let's see, where I got it at an auction.
Oh,
One
that's
day, I
great.
think
It
it was
has a
in the
wonderful
state
high glaze on it, and it's
The
all
glaze
Yeah, it's
is
in
decorated.
what,
real good
I
shape.
think that's rather
Excellent.
unusual.
What did you have to pay for?
I think I paid about 75, somewhere
Recently
around.
or sometime
No, probably about 10 years ago.
Yes,
10
yeah.
years ago.
You wouldn't get it for that today.
No, oh, I see some pieces go crazy.
It's beautiful.
But I
Okay,
think
thank you.
the glaze is exceptional. I really do.
Oh.
That.
I didn't know that. That's great. Thank you.
Elizabeth Covey has brought a hand-painted vase from France. Oh, how sweet that is.
My husband and I received this as a wedding gift. And on the bottom it says D&C France.
Okay, that's Limoges is the blank, and that's hand-painted by the artist. The D&C mark was between 1870 and 1890. Nevelyn, you want to?
Is it signed? Does it have the artist's name on it? I think if you look on those leaves, you might find a tiny little initial or a signature, which just makes it that more
I've looked
valuable.
all over, and no, there's no mark.
So often the artists didn't, I don't know if they didn't think they were doing good work or what, but a lot of the artists did not sign their pieces, which is a disservice. And then again, some other artists signed their pieces as well as dated them. This is a very attractive piece. She has beautiful shadowing in the hand painting.
It's nicely
Good
done.
colors,
Very
yeah.
nicely
Do you want to
done.
give a value, Carol?
I would say probably around $55 on it.
About 55?
We all agree.
Yeah. Thanks.
That's one for us, we all agree. Sharon Behar has brought a pair of lamp bases, and they look like they're hand-painted. Limoges
Like
or,
candle
those are
Yeah.
wonderful.
They're
They are.
Limoges, and
Aren't those
it's, I
candle holders,
think,
Kay?
Yeah,
no,
those
they're
are,
lamp bases.
can we see the bottom portion?
Sure.
Yeah, these are lamp bases. They were candlesticks, probably the factory at some point would take the candlestick and drill it or somebody did drill it.
Oh, it
There
is
is a hole in the
drilled?
back, so it would
Oh,
be
it
wired
is.
for,
Oh,
just beautiful. These are, I'm going to pass this around.
Well,
what
Do you
did
want to,
they-
no, you want
What
to
is-
leave that out
okay.
so the people
Kay,
can
did
see
they
it?
do that later? Because they originally were candles.
Yeah, I think this
Yeah.
was done as an afterthought.
Well,
beautiful.
I went out with Liz one Saturday, Sunday, and we went in estate sailing and found them, and I liked them. I bought them.
If they
Oh,
weren't
I
drilled,
just-
I would put a value of $125 the pair as candlesticks, because they're a very desirable size and they can be restored. You can just plug it or just put it to the wall and act like it never happened.
But you
Carol?
know that it looks like it's glazed there, so.
Well, they
it
did
looks
glaze on the
original,
inside. Yeah.
But it wasn't original. I've just never seen anything like
That
that.
looks like it could have been part of a dresser set, a very big dresser
Yes,
set with the
definitely.
candlesticks.
And then
They're
that would,
great.
that's why it would be a smaller lamp, because it would probably go in the tray in the dresser set, which would be small lamps on each
It's
side.
going in my daughter's bedroom.
Very pretty.
I think I'd use them as lamps.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I think.
Did you
they're
price
nice
them, Kay?
I said about $125 the pair.
Very good. We all agree.
Thank you.
Richard
Such soft
Simone,
colors.
They're pretty good.
Richard has brought us a sterling silver dresser set consisting of a brush, mirror, button, and hook. The dresser set is
Beautiful.
stamped F&B sterling, and it is, could we just have one piece?
Oh, sure. The three here, I believe, are from the same set. It has the same scenes on it. This is one odd piece that we picked up with it.
Oh, that's nice, the clothes brush set. It's an Art Nouveau woman, very beautiful with flowers in her. It's wonderful. with flowers in her hair, and it's just beautiful, a reposé of the...
Oh, that's...
There's a slight damage on her nose, just the tip is worn through.
We won't tell anybody, though.
Okay.
She looks great.
Are the others the same design? Or,
No,
I mean,
these are
they-
different.
Are they Art Deco or Art
Nouveau.
Art Nouveau.
Nouveau?
Yeah, this is Art Nouveau with her hair. She's beautiful.
And this one has the round bevel.
It has the beveled mirror.
Real good condition also. That one, it's stamped sterling on the belly. It's a little worn. It's
Yeah,
hard to
but you
see,
can
if
tell
you
by
look
the
close,
feel
you
of
can
it.
see it.
Let's see, what is that flowers? Oh, that has a lady too. Oh, but feel the weight of this. Good night. This is Mark Sterling.
F&B Sterling. That came out of probably New York. Forbes
that
and
there.
Browning. We were trying to think who the F&B were.
I thought, well, looking in the book, I thought, I saw
I want to
that
see the
name in
front of
Foster
Oh,
Brothers.
she
There was
was
another
really
one,
the silver.
another name that I saw with the
Oh,
initials.
my land. Oh, this is absolutely gorgeous.
I would say the three-piece set,
May I have just the brush? I want to see how heavy that is. I'm going by the
That
mirror.
was good sling.
Yeah, see, it's the mirror that's...
I would
Yeah.
say
Well,
the
it's right.
three-piece
The
set
mirror
is worth
itself, yeah.
$650. That would be the mirror and the brush, and sometime a comb will magically appear
Okay,
in the
it does
hook.
have damage on the brush, though.
Yeah, quite a bit.
But it can be restored. It can be restored. We've done that, where we've
And it
taken the
does
top
around
off.
here, can be?
too.
Put the- Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But the theme of it is just beautiful.
Oh, it's
And I
just
would say that the
absolutely
little clothes brush is probably worth about $125. Yeah, a lot of times, people do not put any value on this. They forget that how old it is, and the manufacturer, when you see that this is sterling, and they're selling copies of this in silver plate or a base metal
Yes.
for what we are, just to praise the sterling for, you wonder, and you say, well, I really do have something nice, and you have the original.
Well, and this was picked out of a home in Chicago, northwest side, near Austin and Irving Park. We were doing a house sale there. This is one of the pieces he had in the garbage can that he was throwing out, all 4 pieces, because he thought it was worthless.
Oh, thank
Thank
you,
you.
Richard, very
Thank you.
much for bringing. Bob Blazek. Bob has brought a mirror, and,
Okay. This little piece caught my eye
oh, it's wonderful.
in Boulder Junction, Wisconsin, about a year ago. I found it in a resale shop. And I tried to do a little research on it and went to the library and come to find out, and correct me if I'm wrong, but back then they did not tax, or they would have taxed a mirror if it was sold. But being that there was an art picture put into it, it was considered an art form. Now, I might be wrong on that, but that's what I came up with. And it looked kind of appealing, so I found it in a resale shop and I purchased it. And I'm curious on a circa date and a value on it.
It looks like 1870 to
Oh, it's
1880.
1880.
Yes. Oh, it's...
It looks like a Good Day print, the fashion magazines for the children, and it has a
Appears to
very
be
nice...
hand-colored. I can't tell for sure, but...
Very Victorian,
Yeah, it looks like a
right?
hand tint, yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Engraving.
Mm-hmm.
And it's got the Jenny Lind type.
Spools down the side. I think the fabric there was probably maybe some damage around the edge, and so they've added that fabric, which goes very nicely with the coloring and everything.
Yeah, very sweet.
Oh,
Do you want to give any valuation,
just-
Carol?
I would say probably around 125.
It's really a nice piece,
No.
very nice.
I would say a little bit more.
Could
I
go
would
into any
too.
room,
I'd say about
give a little
195.
coziness to
Well,
it.
I was thinking about 150, so...
Oh, we're all different. I'm saying 195, and you're saying what?
150.
150. Well, I would pay 195 for it if I had a Victorian home and I wanted it, because where are you going to find another one? I think
Yeah,
it's
the little
gorgeous.
balls on the top and everything. I would kind of go toward with Neville, and it's a sweet piece.
And the second piece I picked up a few weeks ago in Appleton, Wisconsin, it caught my eye, is a photo album. And it looks copper with silver etched.
Oh,
The pages are fairly decent. I'm curious about this as far as a circa date and a value on it. I haven't filled it as of yet, but I intend to.
I would say, Bob, this is probably of the Civil War era, 1860 to 1865. I have seen some with the engraving like this around the photo pages. It's in very good condition. The little clasp is gone, but it looks like whoever had it just kept the photos in and then disposed of the photos. It is a beautiful engraving on it, too. It does look like copper with cut back to the base metal. I would put a value on that probably of $75.
I was going to say 65. It's
You're always $10 less than me,
Right,
Carol.
well, see, you're in Riverside.
Okay, we
almost
want
looks
to
like
thank
that
Bob for
German
bringing this
silver.
in, and we've got to go
It
to a break
does.
now, and we'll be back in a few minutes.
but I think
Thank you
that's-
very much. Welcome back to the special edition of Backstage Antiques. Mrs. Evelyn Skaman has brought us two unusual pieces. One is a bisque and porcelain figurine from Germany that was given to her mother in around 1890 as a wedding gift. It is part of a pair of statues. There was an accompanying piece to it. It is a beautiful hand-tinted and fired German statue. And Nevelyn, do you want to talk about that?
Well, it has the cobalt blue and the raised gold and the soft colors, which are always, I think, very important. The softer the color, it'll tell you that it's Germany. I would say it's worth about $175. That's my thinking.
Just as a single?
As a single, because of the color. I think it's worth that.
I'd say about 150 would be.
Carol?
I was going to say about 175.
I will say 175, and that wipes out that wipes out somebody over there.
What difference does it make?
And she also has brought us a beautiful ruby flash glass that was given to her sister from her father, and her sister is 93 years old. This type of glass was given as gifts from carnivals and different exhibitions from around 1885 to around 1915. I'm not unable to identify the pattern. Usually they did button arches, but this one seems very plain.
And they're souvenir.
Souvenir type, and they did a lot of them with the World's Fair. I would say this particular piece is worth around $45. At the time, it was probably a dime. Engraved. Everybody agree to that?
We all agree.
Thank you, Evelyn, very much.
Okay, thank you.
Frank Zelenka has brought us a man's pocket watch that he thinks it was his great-great, but I think it was just his grandfather's. It is a very nice watch. It is 14 karat yellow gold filled, and it has a nice engraving on the case. Frank, could you just turn it once, show the engraving on the case?
On the back.
Okay, yeah, put it down. Okay. It was made for a jewelry concern in Philadelphia, and it has the jeweler's name in the city on the front of it in a very small writing. The face of it, if you turn it over again, is porcelain. It is I opened up the back prior to the show, and it has about a 7-jewel movement, and it's beating its little brains out. It's working perfectly. And it was made in Rockford, Illinois, probably from the early registration number on it, about 1895. The condition of the watch is a little bit rough on the case and everything, but it still is a very nice watch, and I would evaluate it at about $150. Does anybody want to add to that one? Okay. Thank you, Frank, very much. Enjoy it. It's a very pretty engraving. Bernice Gleason.
Yes, okay, hello. I brought this along. I had found it in my mother's apartment building. I don't know what it is. I refer to it as a litho on the sheet. But I was quite impressed with it, so I've kept it for my home.
I think it's a steel engraving.
Is that what it is?
Edna?
I don't know, it's hard for me to tell from here. Oh, yeah, I would say so, definitely. Yeah, you can tell
I
when you
wanted to
get...
have it
get
framed.
the-
I don't know if I should go and have
it's
it
signed.
mounted,
Bring
or
that
should I
in.
just leave the original?
It looks like it has a museum mount on it, which is a rag content in the
It's beautiful.
on the border. I probably would just recommend that you clean it because
Clean
it's
it.
sealed. Just clean the frame. It's got
Clean
a
the
lot
frame,
of
is
years.
that all?
Yeah,
Okay.
It
and
does
it's
appear to
got.
be some water damage down here.
Yeah.
But that adds to the. But this is a museum mount on the. It's a wonderful little theme. It's awful cute.
Probably about 1900, 1910, would you say?
Yeah, very, very nice. Thank
Okay.
you. Do you girls want to give a value on that?
Well, it's hard for me to give a value on that. It has a, it has the hand-cut mat, thank you. But I would say something, I would just say like around 95.
I would agree with that also.
Okay, now I brought this along. I had purchased this some years back. Unfortunately, I thought it was a watermark and I could wash it. I took it apart, not realizing it's hand painted. I mean, painted when you put a little water in it. So what is?
This is a copy of a Gainsborough, a picture. It is either on ivory or paper or celluloid. It is all hand done. It was quite fashionable in the late 1800s to copy these. The frame which it is in is bronze, and it is all crimped to fit. I'm sorry that you took it apart also.
I just put it together this evening before I brought it back here, because I just put it aside. I was just disgusted with myself.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Oh, isn't it?
I think we
yes.
probably
What
could
happened
repair
there?
it.
I wonder if it could.
Yeah, probably restored. In perfect condition, something like that is worth around $450.
Oh, yes.
It's just a beautiful, it's a copy of Gainsborough. I can't think of,
And
I was going to
the,
say, providing it's on ivory. The celluloid, I don't think would
the
rate.
the celluloid is still up there.
Up
and so-
there?
yeah, because it is a miniature oil. Yeah. But it's just,
No,
it's
I would
absolutely
Isn't it
I would
beautiful?
guess-
Yeah, I
wonderful.
thought it
know.
was.
I
That's
don't
the reason I
know.
was so upset
See, I
when
don't
I
know what I had
touched
this
it.
for.
And I know I shouldn't have afterwards.
Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome.
Alice has brought us a beautiful oil painting.
Oil painting of a philosopher,
we're not going to
which was
keep it.
donated to me, but I have
Beautiful.
no, I don't know the value of it.
It's absolutely beautiful.
What's the meaning behind it? I don't know.
Can you read us what it says on the bottom of the plaque?
Yes, the painter was Donald Sellinger.
Donald Sellinger. And on the top,
I don't have
there's
my
a
glasses on, so I
plaque.
can't see.
It says in memory of James R. Coetzer, 1913 to 1989. And this was a reproduction or reserved. This painting may not be reproduced in any form without permission of the artist. This is an original oil, and he has authenticated it and said that you cannot reproduce it
Oh, it's
without his
just
permission.
beautiful, isn't it?
This is positively beautiful. The detail on it, the size, the theme, I would value this at about $1,500. It's just
Thank you.
wonderful. Alice, it's just exceptionally fine. Thank you for bringing that. That's a
Yeah,
Don't
and
let
you're
it
right,
wet
Kate.
tonight.
You're right because
Yes,
of
I'm
the
very careful.
highlighting on here, on his glasses and the tip of his nose and his forehead.
Gorgeous.
Oh, it's
I'd say at least 1,500.
just wonderful. While we're drooling on that, we'll get Barbara
Oh, it
Raba
is
ready.
beautiful.
Okay, thank
It
you.
is
Yeah,
just
I'd say
wonderful.
so,
Thank you
too.
for
It's
sharing that
just
with us.
Absolutely.
This is a necklace I believe belonged to my great-grandmother. I thought it was turquoise, but it feels more like china. I'm not certain just
I
what
think it could be from Murano, Italy, and it could be art glass from Murano. May I feel it?
Surely.
This is stone.
Is it?
Yeah, this is stone. It's very nice. I've seen pieces similar to this. It could be African trading beads or
Is it real cold?
no, but it is stone.
It's got a lot of weight to it.
Yeah, it has.
It
It's
says
a lovely piece.
Probably about 1930s, don't you?
30, yeah, or 20s and 30s, yeah. I would think, Barbara, I would say about $85, and that's a guess on
But
the
that,
stone.
no,
but
that
it's-
clasp looks brand new to me.
Well, it could have been
Could be
restrung.
restrung, yeah.
Yeah, just the stone
They're
itself.
not
Did you
real
say where
cold,
they were
Kate.
from?
No,
I thought it was from my great-grandmother.
Oh,
I'm not
uh-huh.
certain. It's someone in the family owned it previously.
They're really
wear it and
lovely.
enjoy it. It's very, very nice. Do you want to put your carnival glass piece
Yes.
down? What can you tell us about that?
This also was from my great-grandmother. This is a hat pin holder,
Wow.
and it's the purple glass. I have a green one, but you can only tell the color by looking through the top.
Down. Okay. You put it down so the cameras can get it. It's the grape and cable, it looks like, pattern. Carnival glass, I would evaluate this at a little more because it's a very unique piece. You don't see
It
hat
is,
pin
huh?
holders. In fact, I've never seen a hat
I
pin
haven't
holder.
either. I haven't either.
Nevelyn, you want to start with that?
You know, it's hard for me to believe that it's a hat pin holder. It looks more like a,
Muffinier?
no, not a muffinier. It's a vase of, I'm visualizing it with hat pins.
But
And
how the
it's-
slots are and how it goes around, I could definitely see hat pins in it.
Mm-hmm.
But I
Anyway.
think I would tend to say probably a vase rather than
That's the
than
way
hat
I
pin
feel, but
holder.
of course I can't be sure. Is it marked Northwood on the bottom?
No,
It has no
because we
marking
had
on it.
looked. Yeah, we looked when we.
It's
Well,
very nice
I would
brown.
just say like around, because it's so unusual, between 75 and 95, and that's just a
That's
guess
a
on
guess,
my
yeah.
part.
That's
I
good.
think I'd tend to say maybe a little higher, 125.
Right. I would think it would be higher because of the color and the
I was
uniqueness
thinking
of the piece.
150. That's probably high, but then it's so different.
Well, I had seen a picture of it in a
And
book.
what-
you
That's how I
had?
knew.
And it was a hat pin
oh,
holder.
It was a hat pin holder,
Well,
and
see,
they
I
had.
think it's so different. I'd
Yeah.
say $150 on that.
It's very, very nice. The postcards we're going to have to wait on because
Okay.
of the time element, but we'll do you after the show.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Enjoy.
I could wear these beads. They're
Karen
beautiful.
Neja has brought us a saber.
Okay, I have two swords here. And this one I found in my grandmother's garage. And it has some Roman numerals on there that say 17 and numbers that say 1688. And then this one I bought myself, and I believe it was a Shriner's sword.
Yes. Oh, that's just wonderful. A little dagger type appears to be handmade at the time, the way that it is forged out of one piece and hammered. I would estimate that piece to be $100. The Knights of Columbus, or Shriner's sword, because of the intricacy of the design and everything, and the fact that it is a fraternal piece, I would value that at about $250. Does anybody want to say anything on that?
Well, we've had them, and of course they are engraved with the names and the year and everything, and I've never been able to get over $50 for one from the Shriners. The other one looks almost like these Spanish-American daggers or whatever they used to have. I really can't say on either one, except I think $250 is too high on that because we do get them, many of them in Riverside. We're a lot of Shriners, and I can never get over $50.
No, I know that.
Well, yeah, you're talking house sale.
House sale
You know,
versus-
so I would,
Or
I
just
would
even
tend to say
collectors,
100,
even collectors.
125.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
All right,
that's
I'm
the
high
one.
because I think it's great and it's got a lot of engraving.
Okay, thank you.
But thank you for bringing in. We're going to go to another break now.
You
We'll
don't
be
have to
back in
worry
a few
about going
minutes.
home alone.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to our final portion of Backstage Antiques. Mr. Henry Lyons has brought us a Yusei Pilsen beer that was quality since 1904. Pilsen beer, Yusei Pilsen, was made in the Chicago area from around 1904 to about 1954. At one time, Chicago had 212 breweries and with the demise of pasteurization and different things and conglomerates taking over the little breweries, the only one we have left, and they just sold out, is Meisterbrau. Henry, you want to tell us something about this cute little chalk sign?
Well, this is where I got it, and I think I picked it up in a tavern, one of these places there that they had a sign there, and I liked it, and the guy gave it to me. And I says, well, I've had it ever since, and we've moved 4 or 5 times from different states, and it's carried with me all the time. And the wife says, what are you going to do with that thing? Why don't you throw it out? So I'm throwing it out.
Throw it out. I would think that it's probably because of the no longer being in existence, and it's a cute little figurine with the chalks and everything. I'd say that's got to be worth, with the advertising, $150. Yes,
At
no?
least, I
At
would
least?
say.
Okay. Yeah, I remember you say Pilsen when I was a kid.
Yeah.
He's also brought us a
block and tackle.
Thank you.
That's a, they don't make this anymore. They make it out of metal, and this is a wooden block and tackle. And where I got it from, I really can't say. It's some,
Neville, and I remember years ago when you did an auction in Forest Park, you had a couple of those.
Well, yes, and I sold them to a person that collected primitives.
Joe Pilch.
Might be Joe.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I got as much as about $75 for something like that. That's just trying to remember.
Yeah, I don't remember, and
Now, this was a good 10 years ago, kids.
yeah,
It's very, very
I
nice.
couldn't even guess
Yeah.
on something like that.
You hang that with the M&Ms in the
probably
kitchen?
be a
or
real-
yeah,
over your-
yeah, I do that.
It's a real treasure because you're just not
Yeah,
going to find
that's
another
right.
one.
That's
No,
right,
I
you just
think
don't
I
see
think I'm being reasonable.
Mhm.
If you'd like to mention what you would put on it if you had it in your shop.
I wouldn't have anything like that in the shop because I couldn't find it, I'm sure. So I would have to say 75 to 100.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Henry. Vern Holmer has brought us a cheese dish that has been passed down in his family for at least 75 years.
Yeah, my mother got this from her grandmother, which would be my great-grandmother. It is hand-painted, I think. There are some things on the inside. This says 1579-16. At the bottom of this, there's a 5 and some other slash marks, obviously, and then 77 stamped into the back.
In the
Over here.
incisement mark, okay.
And I've been told it is a cheese dish.
It is.
It is. Mhm.
And
You forgot to bring us the cheese, though.
you're right.
The green mark on the
Excellent.
bottom of the platter indicates that is the person who painted the green portion on it and did the hand decoration. The 77 is the incisement from the factory line mark. It is a semi-paste pottery piece. Its heyday probably was 1870, girls?
1870, 1880, I would say.
I would place a value on this of about $150. It's a very attractive piece.
Thank you very much.
I agree.
And I'd be careful not
just
to
lovely.
pick it up by the handle that much. I think I'd
All right.
more or less pick it up from the side because
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Pat Holmer has brought us a beautiful oriental bowl. Oh, that is a Mari.
I've had it for 40 years, and someone gave it to me that was in their home, so I really don't know how old it is. The only mark of any kind would be these blue
The double ring
lines,
blue.
and this is just a faint yellow here. I don't know what that means.
I would think that is a Mari, and the double ring, they didn't mark a lot of the things from Japan. I would think that would be 1860 to 1880. It's all hand-thrown. It's an
Yes.
exquisite piece. It has the high glaze on it and the detailing around the rim. I would value that at about $550. It's wonderful. Put M&Ms in that and bring it into the store. That would be very, very good. It's a wonderful piece, wonderful shape and everything.
Thank you for telling
Thank
me.
you, Pat. Lucy Lewicki has brought us a couple of portrait plates that are signed Limoges. Let her out, we're on camera.
These are a pair of plates that I have from a gentleman who was cleaning out his house. He had no use for these, and he told me that there's a dozen of them. They belong to his wife's mother. He had no use for them, so.
Okay, these are a series of cherub depicting different play and different things in the heaven. The fact that he has the 12, he has the complete set, which is unusual. It's 24 karat gold banded onto the cobalt, and it's about a 9-inch plate. Could you, Lucy, just tell us what it says on the back of one of them?
This one has the most marking. This one says D&C in Limoges, France. And again, it's got like a honey pot, and underneath it has D&C France marked on it. And this is the only one of the group of 12 that has this complete marking. The other ones have a little bit of a different marking on them.
I would value each of the plates at about $40 to $60.
Yeah, I was going to say 50.
I was going to say
Easy.
50
Mhm.
each.
Does it matter that there are some duplicates, or?
No.
No?
No, but there was a series of 12, and they're just wonderful.
Oh, they're beautiful, and that cobalt
Very,
blue
very
is
nice. Don't you
gorgeous.
dare clack them together.
I know, I won't. I've got paper between them. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lucy. Eldona Eliokis has brought us a Mary Gregory jewelry box. I hope.
Drop it.
Oh, this is exquisite. Can you tell us something about this, Eldona?
Well, I got possession of it from a cousin of mine who was a nurse, and she took care of Mrs. A.B. Dick.
Oh, yes.
In fact, she was with her when she died, and while she was with her for about a year and a half, and while she was there, Mrs. Dick gave this to her one day. And so whenever my cousin died, the family asked me if there was something of hers that I would like, and I said I'd like that box because I was so enchanted with it.
Oh, yes.
So
it's a bronze mount on amethyst glass, and it is probably done by Mary Gregory. The amethyst glass is very rare. We've seen it in cranberry, green, what have you, but the amethyst is rare. I would evaluate this at about $400 to $500. It's
How
just
much?
$400 to $500. It's just wonderful. Eldona, be very careful when you carry that home tonight. It's a beautiful,
Yeah, I think
beautiful
even more
piece.
than that,
And
because
they say
that
is the old Mary Gregory. Now, some of the newer, not the newer, but some of it was made in Czechoslovakia, but they say that that's when they have the colored face, the flesh-colored face.
That's right, not the all-white.
So this is the first. This is very, very valuable.
Yeah,
about
very lovely.
when was it created, I wonder?
Mary Gregory was 1880 to 1895 was her.
1885?
And they have tumblers, glasses, and
Creamer
they
and
have bottles,
sugar and perfume bottles and candlesticks.
some are boys and some are girls.
Oh, I tell you, I was just so
just
enchanted
wonderful.
with it, and that's what I wanted.
Oh, it
That's
is.
what
It's
they
just
gave me.
lovely.
Carefully walk back with that, Eldona, very carefully. Eldona's sister has brought us,
thank you.
That is
Ruth Wyatt has
beautiful.
brought us a de Grazia sculpture that was signed in 1947, one of the early pieces. You're cute, but you're not her sister.
I'm her daughter. She had to leave.
Oh, that is a wonderful piece. De Grazia is probably one of the hottest and highest
right.
collectibles there are right now. And this is one of his earlier pieces out of Arizona, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's signed Tucson. in the
Yeah,
bottom.
oh, it's
It's signed with his
Signed
name?
in
Yeah,
Tucson.
De Grazia, and then it says
Oh.
Tucson.
That
Carol, do you want to give a shot on that?
I'm not even sure where to begin.
Okay.
Yes.
Edna, do you have any idea?
Well, I'd say probably $350. Because I know the little things, what they sell for.
Yeah, and the current
that's-
things. And there,
yes.
you said, you indicated there was a little damage on this, just oh so slight. But
Oh, yeah, right here.
on his little
And
horns?
the little ear.
Yeah. It's a great piece. It's a great
She's
piece.
had it as long as I can remember, so.
But it is, I mean, his stuff is just really hot.
Yeah.
So keep it nice in the cabinet.
Okay.
And we figured about 350?
I really don't know on them. You've stumped me on that one, but
Okay.
Edna keeps up with everything that's collectible as of today, and if, well, God bless you with just having
Evelyn,
it
do you
this
want to
way.
bring up
Thank
your, did everybody bring up their stuff? Their goodies? We have to have Lib here for a few minutes. I'm amazed that we got through so fast. We want to thank everybody for bringing their things and being so patient and waiting with us. Edna Barth has brought something that would be
I
of
don't have it in
amusement.
my hands. It's
It's behind you?
It's
in the chair?
It's in.
It's in a
I
bag.
don't know whether
Well, I
anybody.
don't know if we have time for someone to get it. No, we don't have time,
No, that's
Kate.
too small. Okay, well, we're running out of time, but next time, and there will be another show very soon, we'll have Edna Barth tell you, and meanwhile, everybody can research what are snowbirds.
Anybody here know what a snowbird is?
Yeah, Arizona.
Oh, no, though. These are things that people put on the roof to keep the snow from falling off because before they had insulated homes, they used the snow to keep the heat in the house. And so they'd put them all the way around the house. And I have a couple with me, but they're in back here.
They have many of them in Florida.
Snowbirds,
Not
that's
that
right.
kind. You mostly would find them around
Thank you all very much
farmhouses.
for bringing your treasures tonight, and I want to thank, I will thank Carol Hutton of Patterns of the Past, Neville and Christian, Colonel Neville and Christian, and Edna Barth and her snowbirds.
Snowbirds.
Thank you again for joining Backstage Antiques.